What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys made some money on Mana in the past week after I talked about it last week and kind of explained how after falling all the way from 350 to $2 that it was looking to reverse and move all the way back up if it could break through 320. And 320 was our big number, our big line in the sand that we needed to kind of draw out on our charts. And the level that I said, was very important. So as we saw this thing kind of ramp up, 320 was that big level where it's like, okay, can it break this? And then eventually it did, kind of coming into February. And as it broke that, it came all the way, it kind of moved all the way up to 360, came back down and found support exactly around that 320 level. So this is simply just understanding previous price levels, understanding that all the way back here, 320 was your support level, right? 320 and 350 are your two important levels for Mana to understand and to see if this is going to move higher. If we're going to continue these moves, then these need to be your major support levels and the levels that you're looking at, buying into, or at least selling if it's breaking below these levels, right? So these need to be your kind of stop loss, where you need to put your stop losses is just below these levels. If you're getting in at 320 or if you're getting in at 350, right? If you're in at like $1 like me, then you're not really worried about these levels, but you are worried about the overall market, and you want to be taking profits in these levels if they're not able to hold up, which is why I make these videos, right? Because it's like I'm just trying to explain to you guys the way I'm thinking about it, because I've already made profits in all of these moves, right? Because I bought this way back here, right? Like I bought this thing way back here, right? So around this level right here in May is where I bought it. So I'm just telling you guys where I'm looking to make moves. This is not trading advice. It's just my opinion. That's all it is. Just my opinion of what I'm thinking might happen and where I'm thinking this might go. So I'm just giving you guys that and being straight up. But at the same time, we need to understand that the overall market, if we look at the Qs and we look at the NASDAQ, which is the Qs, and we look at the SPY, or the spider, what we'll find is that the market right now is kind of in this pullback and then bounce and looking to maybe consolidate, but it's higher than this level and it's on an upward trend. So what we're looking to see is if these levels are going to hold in the market, or if this is just going to be a bounce before the move lower, right? So overall, it looks like we might hold up and the market might start trending upwards, and then we're going to see kind of just a slow, steady grind upwards, which would be a very good thing for crypto, and we could see Mana explode up to those highs, or even just to $4 or $5 very quickly in the next week or so. So that's what I'm looking to happen, and kind of following the overall market to see if Mana is going to follow suit, or to see if we're going to have kind of a divergence when it comes to crypto and the equities markets, if they're still going to move kind of the same, or if we're going to have some different moves. If crypto continues to fall, or continues to go up and the overall markets continue to move lower, then obviously they've diverged and they're no longer moving in tandem. So right now the markets are moving basically the same, right? When the overall markets go down, when the SPY goes down, when the Qs go down, crypto goes down. So we're looking at these overall trends to see if they're going to stay the same, or if they're going to kind of diverge, and whether crypto is going to be able to kind of finally take off, even if the market just stays consolidating, or if it just starts slowly grinding upwards, crypto will just start taking off, being like, all right, now people are actually willing to invest and put money into tech and to speculative investments again, right? Because that's really what it is, right? Is who's willing to put money into areas of risk. And at times, this is something that is not necessarily a place where people want to put a lot of money if we're looking like the market's going to go down, or if we're looking like we're going into recession and kind of the overall markets are looking very grim, right? So anyway, when you look at the buying activity down here, you'll see that it's 58%. So it's still to the buy side imbalance, but it's very, very close, and it's starting to go back down. So this is something to understand, and why I was saying that, it might be a good idea to start taking profit in these areas if we can't break through, right? If we're not able to, and if we're not able to hold 350, it's good to maybe take the trade off just to see, because these are the main support levels it needs to hold up now. So 350 and then below that 320 are going to be your your big time prime numbers that need to hold, and then we can move higher. So if you bought last week, for this move to 370, 380, then you're like, hey, I'm up 20%. What am I doing? Well, it's probably good to take profits in these areas, maybe 50% or whatever, depending on how much you have in. Obviously, if you only have like 100 or 200 and you're willing to risk it and lose it, then you might just want to leave it. But if you have a few thousand in, then definitely take some profits in these areas and start to look to see if we're going to hold and then move higher, or if we're going to reverse, right? So that's just something to understand about trading in general. The other thing to understand is that mana itself is moving more like on its own because of the virtual reality, the kind of attachment that it has to the metaverse and to Facebook, which is now Meta. So if these things can continue to get more play and more kind of FaceTime in the media and just around the internet, then people are going to start to recognize these names more, and there's going to be more and more investments coming in, right? Obviously, when the markets are tanking, nobody wants to put money anywhere, but these are investments that are speculative because they're for the future, right? These are virtual reality plays that will be big in 3 or 4 years, or down the road. They're not necessarily going to be big tomorrow, although there's a lot of things happening in these, and a lot of money going into these different plays every day, right? As you go down, you can just see like Samsung and all these different corporations and different investment groups are starting to put money into these virtual reality plots. They're starting to buy these plots. They're starting to develop land in these plots, and they're starting to engage with them, which means they're starting to realize that there is something in these plays. There is something in these ideas that could be more than just speculation and could lead to big opportunities in the future. But I'm not saying that this means you need to throw all your money into mana and that it's going to be the next big thing. No, I'm just saying that, hey, if you like virtual reality and you think that you got a few extra bucks to throw in here and maybe it'll make you 4 or 5 times what you have in a few years, then this is what we do. This is why we trade. This is why we talk about these things. I don't just talk about these things because I think that these things are not going to do anything for you, right? I've been through the investment world. I've invested in things that don't go anywhere for years and give you no opportunities. I've invested in things that give you crazy opportunities overnight. So it's like you got to understand why these opportunities are there and what the different nature of them is. And this is definitely a speculative investment, and you need to think of it that way. So sorry for my rant there. It's just kind of explaining why you got to think about these plays differently than something like Apple or Google, or investing in something like that, right? Anyway, 320, 350, big levels to the downside. If they can hold, we're going to try to push this thing through 4, back to 5, back to 6, through 7, and finally maybe get $10. That's my hope. That's my dream. Hopefully it happens in the next year, and we'll all be rich. That's all I got to say. Anyway, have a good day, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was informative. Please, if you got any questions, put them in the comments below. Mana to 5, 6, if we can break through 4, and if we can hold 350. That's the key. Those are the keys. Those are the numbers. And I will look to put out a video maybe every week, as long as I got time and the markets are, giving opportunities. I will make videos and let you guys know how you should be thinking about these opportunities. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Oh, and as always, check out my SNL Essentials store on Etsy check us out, guys. Anything you buy there helps support this channel. I got Mana sweaters. I got Cardano and Ethereum sweaters. I got all kinds of stuff on there. Nature, all kinds of stuff. Spring, fall, anything you want. Nature stuff, we got it. Check us out. All right? It's pretty cool. Thank you.